Hey. How is everyone today on this Monday? Monday, y'all. It's Monday already. Again, it's Monday. I can't believe it. Can you? This the third Monday of March of this Women's History Month. We're already in the third Monday. Today is Monday, March the 20th. Happy Women's History Month. If I haven't seen or talked to you this month, if you haven't been in the meditation room, hey, girl, hey, how you doing? How's it going? How are things happening? How you feeling? Have you had some time to get in touch with yourself and ask yourself that question? How you doing? Well, come on in. This is the best place to talk about it, to share about it, to be about it. It is Mondays in the meditation room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings. I'm loving, as always, my theme song for Mondays in the meditation room, created for me by MB Music. And can I tell you, I'm playing it from my phone today, so I have no idea how it sounds. And I've decided in these days in my life that perfection is overrated and it doesn't have to be perfect to go ahead and do what you do, what you're doing with, with what you're doing. Just go ahead and do it. Last week, I had my Bluetooth speaker on my table and did something. And it hit the floor and hit the floor hard. So it won't even charge anymore. So I got to get a new one. But I wasn't going to wait till I got a new one to have Mondays in the meditation room and play the theme song. Oh, of course not. So, hey, here it is again as our theme song comes in. Whether you're hearing it clearly, don't worry. Next time we get together, I have a new Bluetooth and it'll be good. And you'll be able to hear it nice and clear and beautiful. So, welcome to Mondays in the Meditation Room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings. Yes, it's where you can find everything, all things, enlightenment and empowerment for Black women in midlife, where we are what, y'all? Redefining, reimagining, and recreating our midlife life. How are we doing it? We're doing it through the healing and mastery of our midlife inner life. Our identity is found in our Creator. Therefore, our worth and well being are ignited from within. So, what's our mantra, y'all? I have no need to compete, compare, or complain, but we create. Yes, and yes. So, guess what? Happy spring, y'all. Today is the first day of spring. Spring has sprung. We are in a brand new season already, almost to the end of the first quarter of 2023. And I hope you have taken some time to reflect, renew, recalibrate, restart, whatever it is you need to do to re energize yourself in this moment for the coming of the next quarter. Or maybe you're doing absolutely nothing but what you need to do and what your soul and your spirit is leading you to do. So today we are going to continue on in our A Black Woman Self-Love series. I had planned to close it out last Monday, but then I felt a nudge to go one more again. A Black Woman Self-Love series. It has been so encouraging and empowering for me to really talk about how powerful self-love is, right? How powerful it is to give yourself the same level of love that you give to other people. So we started out with loving your genius. Your mind is divine. Yes. Then we talked about loving that little girl within, embrace the freedom, and really manage yourself, because who you are, even as a grown woman, is still reflected in the things you experienced as that little girl. Can I tell you, I don't know if you have, I can't even remember now if it's Hulu or Prime or Apple TV. I don't even know which one it is, but we've been watching Unprisoned, Kerry Washington's new show. And as soon as I saw the episode that introduced her little girl that has conversations with her adult woman self, I was like, yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Love that little girl within, because she's still in there and affecting who you are as your grown self, right? And having the conversation she has with herself is just hilarious, but so also healing and confirming and affirming. So check it out if you can. Then we went to self-love, a Black woman self-love series. We talked about loving your body as sacred vessel. I think I'm going to have to do a part 2 of that one. So powerful, right? And then a Black woman self-love series. We talked about love you, YOU, your ordained optimal uniqueness. And today, on this first day of spring, I just want to talk a few moments about watch what you say, the power of self-love through self-talk. Watch what you say, the power of self-love through self-talk. Why is that so important? Because as a living expression of God in the earth, as a living expression, reflection of God in the earth, which you and I are, we also have creative power that comes through the words that we say. So if we're talking about loving yourself, that means you have to be mindful of the things that you say to yourself, because you can create a self-fulfilling prophecy if the things that you say to yourself are not loving, are not kind, are not affirming. Even if you check in your own self, you don't have to berate yourself to check in or correct yourself. Mhm. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Whether you subscribe to the Bible and the texts that are in there, um, I want to say that this is what I'm using because this is my path. Uh, it says to us in Proverbs that your mouth has creative power, and life and death are in the power of your mouth, your tongue, what you say, so that you have the ability to create your mood, the energy that comes from you by the words that you say. hmm So I really just want a few moments to say, watch what you say. hmm Because the power of self love through self talk is so important. We cannot control what other people say to us, but we can control what we say to ourselves and what we say to others. Why is it so important? Because even your body responds to your words. So if you are speaking to yourself in rude or negative ways, your body is going to respond just like your body would respond if somebody says something painful, hurtful, or negative to you. You will feel it in your body. Even if you don't feel it immediately, eventually you will feel the power of those words. They will begin to shape how you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself, and how you show up in the world. So don't leave your life to chance based on what somebody else says to you. How about you and I take the joyous responsibility of creating something new by how we speak to ourselves? Watch what you say. And it cannot be emphasized enough that you are a powerful being, that when you speak, things happen. Even if you can't see it right away, you are creating. I am creating when I speak. Man, just take a moment and let that sink in. Even if you've heard it before, even if you know it before, in this brand new season, realize that you are creating the temperature, you are creating the existence, you are creating the environment in which you exist by what you say. And a lot of what you say is driven by your thoughts, and your thoughts create emotions based on what you say. I mean, based on what you're thinking, right? And then out of those emotions, you will begin to express yourself. So it's a connected thing, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and then ultimately what you're saying. Mm. So if you take some time to reflect on your well being and it's not optimal, you might want to consider and then reconsider what it is you've been saying to yourself that has been driven by your thoughts and your feelings or your emotions, right? So then, how do you manage what you say? For one thing, you may need to edit what you're hearing. What are you hearing? What have you heard? And what are you hearing that feeds your thoughts, that then impacts how you feel, that then impacts what you say? You might want to edit what you hear, whether it's music, whether it's conversation around you, or what you allow people to say to you, or how they say certain things to you, right? You might have to edit what you hear and test what you hear. Is what you're hearing truth, or even what you have heard that still may have landed and be in your subconscious, your conscious, and landed into the emotional seat of your soul? You may need to test what you've heard and what you're hearing. Is it truth? Is it affirming? Right? Is it life giving? Is it helping you to grow? Does it cause you pain? Is it contrary to what you truly know about yourself? Then you might want to edit and test what you hear and then shift where you allow your ears to go. Right? Because I'm telling you, what you hear then affects or can affect what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you're saying. You don't have to subject yourself to everything. Can I tell you how powerful this is? So, like, if I'm watching movies or a movie or something, and there's a lot of um, expletives happening, I realized that after hearing that or watching it over and over, and not maybe not over and over again, but if it's in a movie, which it can be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long, and the people in it are constantly using expletives, I realize that when I'm thinking thoughts or when I'm saying things, I even subconsciously tend to want to use those same words. Oh, don't judge me. I'm just saying. You will realize if that's happening to you as well because it's what I'm hearing. Then it gets in my thought patterns, and when I want to talk, I'm more than likely am saying or using expletives or are tempted to. And when I don't, those things don't enter into my psyche in my conversation. And so be clear that you are influenced and affected by what you hear, what you're listening to. It affects you, and you don't often even realize that it is. So, if what you hear is so powerful that it begins to affect and influence how you think, and then sometimes how you think about yourself, because if you're always hearing that there's something wrong with you, because people are always saying, "Why you wear that? Why you looking like that? Why you talking like that?" Girl, you know you can't understand stuff. Girl, you know you're not smart. Okay, when you keep hearing that, it begins to affect how you even think about yourself. You begin to take that in as truth, even if it's subconscious. And so we have to be mindful to edit what we hear or test what we hear. Is what we hear beneficial to the type of life and person I want to be? Mhm. Because then it affects what you say and how you feel about yourself. I'm repeating it again, and your body responds. So while we're in this Black Woman Self Love series, your self talk matters. What are you saying? You need to watch what you say. The power of self talk, the power of self love through self talk is so important. You may have heard me mention it before. Tony Jones, the affirmation artist, has a song called Talk to Me Nicely. It is so powerful. If you can Google it and listen to it, or better yet, even purchase some of her music. But in particular, I want you to get that Talk to Me Nicely. It matters how you talk to yourself, right? So reflect on what you've been thinking about yourself and what you've been saying to yourself about yourself. Are you building yourself up? Have you begun to mimic what other people have said, what you've heard, and begin to embrace or think about yourself that is not loving, that is detrimental to your well being? Right? So then modify, reframe your thoughts and your talk about yourself, right? And it can be uncomfortable because it's easy for us to compliment other people. It's easy for us to encourage other people, right? To push them, to honor them through the words that we say. Let's turn some of that goodness onto our own self, because how we feel on the inside will eventually show up on the outside. And sometimes our melancholy or struggle with depression, right, or anxiety is rooted in the things that we have heard and what we then begin to repeat and say to ourselves, right? Oh, you're not good enough for that. Oh, don't even try out for that because you're not going to make it. Don't even go for that position. Don't even consider taking a leap of faith and writing a book or start. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And all of those thoughts can become your environment and your life. So I want to encourage you briefly on this first day of spring in a new season. Also, enter into this new season with the determination to speak powerfully affirming words to yourself. Powerful, loving, affirming words to yourself. You may have to start with forgiving yourself for speaking negatively or shortchanging or undermining or betraying your own self through your words. Hmm. Yep. Take some time to forgive yourself and let that go and begin to talk to yourself like you love yourself. You can start with even saying, I love me. And talk about the things you love about yourself. Oh, I love my eyes. I love how weird and funny and crazy I sound when I laugh, a full belly laugh. I love my fingers with my crooked pinky finger and hands that look like my grandfather's hands. Right? I love the way my cheeks go up when I smile and laugh. Right? I love my skin color. I love the way I think, the way I process. Right? Go ahead and know that you deserve to be spoken kindly to the way you speak to others. And if you realize that you're not always kind to others in your speech, try to figure out what's going on within you while you lash out at other people through your words. What are you feeling on the inside that's causing you to speak that way to your children or your grandchildren or kids in the neighborhood, to your friends, to your spouse or your significant other, whatever? Are you harsh? Are you judgmental? Whatever. What Be mindful of how you're speaking to other people because what you are creating that energy and you are causing your words to land on people's hearts, minds, souls, and spirit that may affect how they feel about themselves and certainly how they feel about you. Don't think you can say anything to anybody, anytime, all the time, and then wonder why they don't want to be around you or wonder why they avoid you. Yeah. Come on, y'all. This is um, time in the meditation room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings. Midlife is a wonderful time to reframe, to modify your thoughts and your talk, especially about yourself, right? And take the time to do some reflection and introspection. And how do you really feel about life and yourself and where you are and where you think you should be and where you should go? Now, for me, I'm coming to the conclusion that wherever I am in this moment is where I'm supposed to be. Where I am in my awakening season, in my growing season, in my evolving is where I'm supposed to be. I can only be where my consciousness allows me to be in any given moment. So I accept that and then I continue to grow. I don't beat myself up now because that wasn't always the case. I have to stop and say, well, you have learned, and now it's time to move forward. Don't get stuck in where you were and the decisions you made then, because they were the best decisions you can make in the with the level of consciousness that you had in that moment. So let's move forward. Or if you find yourself going in cycles, say it's all right. Let's see what the root of this may be, and then pray for some healing, some insight, some clarity, and what your next steps may be to heal, so that your talk, your self talk, begins to line up with where you see yourself going, where you want to heal and be made whole. Begin to speak that your heart is healed, your mind is healed, your mind is strong, your mind is clear. You are not full of anxiety and worry and doubt and fear. And the better way to even talk to yourself about that I may feel anxious in this moment, but I will not stay here. I will breathe. I will journal. I will pray. I will meditate to move past this moment. And then that will allow me to look back at this moment to learn whatever I needed to learn. And then how do I want to move forward? Yeah, y'all. Watch what you say. The power of self love through self talk, because you are a powerful being and you create with your words. So create some wholeness and healing and affirming and kindness in a safe, soft place for yourself, because whoever's around you, if they haven't done it, they might not be able, they might not be capable in this moment, because they may be going through their own transformation and healing. And as you move into this new season of spring, and as you move and navigate into this season of midlife, whether you're perimenopausal or menopausal, wherever you are, as your body changes and as your hormones decline, that creates a lot of the changes that you're going through, even in your thought process. Educate yourself on ways to manage and mitigate the transformation fallout that happens during this season. Talk to yourself nicely. Sometimes when I'm in the midst of even a hot flash, I have to catch myself and say, with from saying, "Oh my God, I hate this. This is getting on my nerve. How much longer? Oh my God, oh my." And sometimes, even right in the middle of that tirade or that thought process or those words, I have to say, "Just breathe. It will pass." I don't even get super deep. I just say, "Just breathe. It will pass." And I keep on fanning. Or I use that as an excuse to go treat myself and get me a frozen fruit bar or something to help cool down my body. What you say to yourself matters, enlightened woman. And if you can't find some words to say, mm, get your book, pull out your book, The Enlightened Woman, and go to some enlightened inspiration and read it out loud to yourself. You looking for something nice to say to yourself? Hmm. There it is. Because sometimes our mind can't even conceive of that, because it's a new practice, and it's going to take practice to be mindful of what you say. I literally just flipped through, and this is an important, amazing, enlightened inspiration to say. You are God's divine creation. You are already loved. Now say it to yourself. I am God's divine creation, and I am already loved. Love on you. And I'm going to close with this entry from the Enlightened Woman book, Inspiration and Reflections for your journey to rediscover the joy of being you in midlife and beyond. Love on you. This was one of the harder entries for me to write. I checked in with God to make sure I had to do it, and she answered me with, "What did I say?" And if you know, like I know, that means don't ask me again. Do what I said. Confession is supposed to be good for the soul, so here it is. It took me a very long time to stop comparing my life and accomplishments to other people's and stop waiting for perfection before I started loving and celebrating myself. I've learned that perfection is an illusion and comparison is the devil. Together, they're a recipe for perpetual disappointment and depression. You don't need permission to know and love yourself. You also don't need to like anyone else. You also don't need to be like anyone else to be happy. People get paid millions of dollars to make you unsatisfied with yourself and your life, but don't fall for it. Develop your own standard of being based on these words. And God said it was good. You were created in the image of God. Your very being and the body that houses it are covered in one big divine yes. We will never have true joy and freedom if we don't embrace self love and self acceptance. Love the you that you are right now, even if you know you need and want to make changes that will improve your quality of life. Anything that is not rooted in love won't last. And if you're trying to be something you're not, motivated by the need to be accepted, affirmed, or approved by other flawed human beings, you'll be sorely disappointed and your soul will be left wanting more. I finally got it. I'm right here where I'm supposed to be, being who I'm supposed to be. Throughout my adventurous midlife madness and magnificence, I'm loving the me I've become on this leg of my unique journey. You will grow and evolve as we all should. And while you do, love yourself each step of the way. Love on, love you on your way to you. Mm, love that. Love you on your way to you. It makes the journey divine. Here's an opportunity for you. List as many qualities that you love about yourself as you can. Then have a party to celebrate the rebirth of you. What's our enlightened inspiration today? You are God's divine creation. You are already loved. So talk like it. Watch what you say. The power of self love through self talk. Yes. So excited to spend this time with you. I'm going to spend some time hanging out, doing some stuff I love today. That's what I'm going to do. Yes. And I'm looking forward to it. But let me remind you, save the date. September 23rd is the Serenity Experience 2023, y'all. Yes, well, worthy, and wealthy. It's going to be awesome doing something completely new. Start putting your ducats. Man, did I just age myself? I love it. Start putting your money aside, and you'll be seeing some information in the coming week. Just go ahead, save the date so you can hang out. Go ahead, call your sisters, tell them to save the date. Call your friends, even if they have to come from out of town to hang with you. It's going to be an intimate group as we get together on September 3rd for the Serenity Experience. Well, worthy, wealthy. Yes, absolutely love y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me in the meditation room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching a replay, go ahead and uh, send your love to the tribe. Leave your comments, your insights, because we're on this journey together. Love y'all. See y'all next Monday. Peace. Uh, like the Light Woman Facebook page and follow me on IG at Kelly B. Hayes. Love y'all. See you soon. Happy spring.